Welcome back to the show, boys and girls. Mark here with Bet on Vets. Thought I would switch up the garage angle today, give you a different view. So today I am doing a 10 horrible, stupid things about the Mini Cooper 2nd Gen R56 specifically that drive me absolutely insane. And this isn't one of those cute videos like, oh, I like this car, but here's 10 things I really had to try to find. No, this car gives me heartburn. It should not be this over-engineered. I'm a Corvette guy through and through. I bought this as a secondary daily driver to fart around in. This thing is giving me nothing but problems. It's only at 50,000 miles. I do love the car, don't get me wrong. I'll do a video later on what I do like about it. There's a lot I like about it, but there's also a lot I can't stand about this car. And if you're in the market for one, I'm not trying to deter you from getting one. They're really fun cars, but these are things you should be cognizant about when purchasing one, specifically an R56. And a lot of these do apply to the 1st gen as well. The 3rd gen have gotten a lot better, so keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and get into it. So number one, and these are in no particular order, like most of my videos, they're just kind of random and whatever. But number one, creaks and rattles. A lot of cars are susceptible to creaks and rattles. I understand that. This is a BMW product. It is a cheaper car. I understand that as well. What bothers me is, depending on the temperature outside, depends on which squeaks and rattles you get. If it's 30s, you'll get rattles in the dashboard. If it's between 40 and 60, you'll get them in the back seat. If it's a little warmer, you'll get them up in the sunroof, moonroof, if you will, down on the floorboard, down in the doors. And sometimes you'll get little shakes and rattles and stuff. You're like, where did that come from? And you'll never hear it again. So this thing has so many creaks and rattles. I'm kind of OCD about that kind of stuff. If you follow my Corvette stuff, I just dynamite the whole thing because of road noise. The road noise is not bad, it's just the squeaks and rattles drive me insane. Now, the car is 10 years old, it's 2010, but it's only got 50,000 miles on it, and you think you would have 300,000 miles on it and an old Buick for the way it rattles. So, squeaks and rattles, number one. Number two, this one's at face value sounds like I'm being picky, but it really gets on my nerves. When you park the car, either auto or manual, doesn't matter. Park the car, turn it off, the car will not unlock. So you have to like double clutch the handle to exit the car. The first week I was like, what the hell's going on? Like I thought I was doing something wrong. No, it's just a design, a feature of the car where if you're parked, you stop the car to get out, you have to pump the handle twice to exit the vehicle, and it drives me insane. There might be a way to recode this. This car is all about being coded and stuff. There's a whole cult following to code this damn thing. And if there is an easy way to do that, please let me know, because it drives me insane. That's number two. Number three, I sincerely believe this one is some engineer somewhere thought this would be a hilarious way to troll people. And that is, when it hits 37 degrees, and I'll put the Celsius calculation here, the car will do the same alarm or charm you get with the check engine light. Toot, toot, toot. And it makes my heart skip a beat. If you're not familiar, or if you own a Mini, you know you get a check engine light about once a week for something. And the fact that it's telling you it's cold outside, so I'm gonna alert you and give you a little mini heart attack drives me insane. And it's kind of insulting. It's like, hey, it's cold outside, just in case you didn't know. But it's cold out. I'm like, yeah, I know. A little snowflake on the dash would have been more than enough. The fact it does that, it drives me insane. I can't be the only one. It's number three. Number four. This is more of a, as a car enthusiast, thing that drives me insane. I always like to be able to do a quick check and monitor of all of my gauges and dials, and the omission on the R56 of a temperature gauge is completely asinine. The only way you know is when it's too late. Like, hey, your car's too hot. You just killed it. The 1st gen has a dial, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the 3rd gen might have one too, but the fact that R56 does not have a coolant gauge, and the fact that this car is so susceptible to coolant leaks, and that's a video for itself altogether, is completely asinine. Someone help me with that one. Don't get it. That's number four. Number five, poor overall engineering. Now, on paper, this car is awesome. It uses a lot of BMW parts. I feel the engineering was about 90% done, fit and finish, and they cut a lot of corners. The ideas are awesome in this car. Even the cooling system, it makes sense. However, they skimp out on all the vital components. From the thermostat housing is all plastic. The crossover pipe is a very cheap plastic. Even the internals of the water pump, is plastic. They're guaranteeing you it's gonna fail very prematurely. I got this car a week later, the entire coolant system shit itself. So luckily I can work on cars. I was able to fix it all for the price of all those. I think it was like 200 bucks, everything's brand new. If I didn't know anything about cars, I would have been paying like 1,500 bucks. And that's one of the issues I had. The engineering is neat, but it doesn't reflect that in practical use, if you will. And furthermore, Mini actually says you can go 10,000 miles intervals of an oil change. And it's true, look it up. I'll put a source here if I can find one. But yeah, Mini's like, yeah, go ahead, 10,000 miles, that's fine. The issue is this thing eats oil like it's his job, roughly a quart every 1,000 miles, do the math. That's why you get so many timing chain and tensioner issues, and it pretty much grenades the engine. Like, why are they putting information out? Just do your normal intervals at 3,000 miles, check your oil once a month. This car probably lasts a lot longer as far as the block itself goes. That's number 5. All right, number 6. This one's kind of nitpicky, but it kind of drives me insane. I live in Virginia, temperate winters. If I lived somewhere like Siberia, I probably wouldn't care about this one. But when it's 30 degrees outside and I just want a nice warm seat, I wish that there was just a warm option. As the car comes factory, I think I do the winter package too. It has the little lights with the things on it. You have 3 settings. You have lava, center of the sun, and 7th layer of hell. No matter which one I pick, it's extremely uncomfortable after about 2 minutes. It gets my butt warm, but then it starts giving 3rd-degree burns. I wish that there was a way to throttle it back just a little bit. But I also understand that these cars are sold in very, very cold climates too. So that one of the list is a little nitpicky, but it drives me insane. That's number 6. Number 7. Number 7 is the fact that Mini themselves are aware of all the issues. They know their last on quality reports every year, and they kind of laugh it off and say, hey, that's part of Mini ownership. Welcome to the club. I mean, I guess from a marketing perspective, that's all they can do, but it drives me insane that they know this, that their car is very subpar. And they've gotten better, I know that. If you have a 3rd gen, like, well, my car is good now, I know that. But for a good 14 years, they were just selling them, knowing they're dog shit, didn't even care. And people, such a cult following, didn't care, and it sucks. I feel bad, again, for the people that aren't mechanically inclined or don't want to work on their cars. You're spending so much money out of warranty, and that drives me insane. That's number 7. Number 8, the entire undercarriage of these cars, after about 2 years, is completely covered in rust, and that doesn't really give me a warm fuzzy. This car is not terribly old, and the entire undercarriage is all rusted from the upper, lower control arms, the engine cradle, all the way back along the sides, just covered in rust. And all of them I see online, even in not really wet climates, are just covered in rust. So it's just horrible corrosion prevention on these cars. I don't know why. I guess they don't finish them right. I don't know. It just makes me really uneasy how rusty they are underneath. On top, they did pretty good, but you get underneath and it's a total shit show. It's number 8. Number 9, I thought this was a fluke a couple times, but I looked into it, I'm not the only one. The steering wheel controls, they seem intuitive enough, but they don't really do what you want it to do. You try to change the volume, it changes the station. Try to change the station, you change the volume, and the radio is such a fucking clusterfuck. Trying to get back to where you were drives me fucking insane. I can't stand that. It feels right, it just kind of does what it wants to do. I can't be the only one that thinks that. But yeah, the steering wheel on this thing, it's gotten better, I know, in the newer generations, but for the 2nd gen, garbage. And number 10, this is also a very strange engineering thing they've decided to do, and that is simply the sport mode. Why you cannot leave it in sport mode or just have the car always in sport mode is beyond me. Now I get it. For the automatic, it's more aggressive on the transmission. It can wear it out. For a manual transmission, let there be an option when the sport is always on. I don't know anyone that has one of these things that leaves the sport off. When you forget to turn it on, you think there's something wrong with the car. The throttle response is awful. Once you use sport mode once or twice, you can never go back. There's no going back. For fuck's sake, there's gotta be a way to keep sport mode on. And I think I've seen a couple posts somewhere on some forum that you can turn it on permanently, but why from the factory you can't just have sport mode always on? It drives me insane. You know, 1 out of 10 times I forget to do it and I freak out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's on sport mode, boop, no problem. But just let the consumer have the option of always leaving it on. And again, it's also an EPA issue for the automatic. But for the manual, all you're really doing is adding throttle response. So I don't get it. So there's 10 things about this car that drive me absolutely insane. After the fact, I thought of about 6 more. I could probably do another one down the road if you guys like this. And I did want to do this as a driving kind of review, but it gets dark so early now, and my schedule is not very inducive to during the day driving, so I apologize. I will be plasti dipping the roof and this little intake in the near future, and I'll show you guys that too. I did black out the chrome in the front, looks a lot better, and my plasti dip stripes are holding up awesome. So, alright guys, that's it for today. And for my Corvette team, the Dynamat is done with amazing results, and I'll be taking you guys for a ride tomorrow or Tuesday, and that video will be out this week. It's a good one, so stay tuned for that. I'll catch you guys later. And also, my Washington football team won today, and we're first place in the division, so no big deal. Alright guys, later.